It's a great place to learn how to be.
It's a tranquil, calm place to be.
And it's a great place to learn how to be just who you are.
I think so many people now are seduced by screens and having a vicarious experience of something. This is something real, tangible. And I think people really respond to the fact that they come out here and you leave all that stuff behind. You can experiment. You can either choose to use it bevel down, to draw.
You're surrounded by green, you're surrounded by the natural environment. It's something very primal, it's very primitive, particularly here when we're sitting around the fire. It's something that I think we know very deeply, that we're reconnecting with very deeply. It doesn't seem to matter what I think anyway. People get a sense of being relaxed and enjoy being here.
Right, yes, yeah, that's actually the same family as this one. But this is called the death camp.
So what we're trying to do here is create opportunities for people to reconnect to the natural world through being here, whether it's doing green woodworking or whether it's coming for bushcraft or actually just mucking around with bits of whittling sticks or playing around with bits of mud and making figures to hang in the trees. You know, it's simple.
We wanted to establish a site that could be much more permanent, where we could invest much more in all senses in developing the usefulness of a place for community activity.
And another blow.
And I think here we mean community in a very different way. We mean going beyond the current situation where the Forestry Commission provides something for the public, so provides a space, provides events, and invites the public, the community, to come and share in those events, to a situation where the community is very much more part of the process itself of managing the forest.
There's so much potential here. From my point of view as a woodland manager and green woodworker, you know, there's a fantastic resource. But by the Forestry Commission's own admission, it's been undermanaged. And so we had this opportunity to get this area back into management, which is what our woods need.
Believe it or not, even though it's oak and ash and native species in here, this is a plantation. I think it was planted in 1957. So as well as your conifer plantations, oak and ash woodland was planted also. It's fairly typical of a lot of the woodlands in this area because of the access issues and because of the timber market. They haven't been maintained, they haven't been thinned. Trees which are up there are the high canopy, the understory, which is predominantly hazel and ash coppice, which has been, you know, hazel and ash that have been cut off at the stem and then grown multiple stems. That constitutes a great deal of the understory that we see behind us.
Now, to me, there's a value in that understory. There's a value in the bigger timber as well to the Forestry Commission, but there's also a value in the understory, and this is what I'm going to be doing this winter, is trying to see how we can add value to that underutilised resource.
When the community engages with that and sees what it can get out of it, and bearing in mind we've got quite a decent bank of people who are interested in it, they could achieve quite a bit in here. So it's quite exciting in that sense.
Some of the cost of that, whether it's getting a contractor in,
I think the difference here is that we're trying to evolve something with people rather than presume that we have the answers straight away. We have a resource and a space here at Youngwood which lends itself to developing a different relationship between the community and the way that their public forest is managed. And we want to find a way of developing that works for local people.
The point about community is getting people involved. So there has to be an umbrella, not necessarily an organisation, but people as an umbrella. But I think this can be a bottom-up approach, not necessarily a top-down. So to get more people involved in whatever capacity, as volunteers or because they're craftspeople and they want to get involved in the wood, and bottom-up, I think, is a better a good approach, and that's what I think I mean by community.
One of the things here is that the voluntary activity that we do is not traditional conservation volunteering. So we're doing a lot of creating things. So we cleared the forest floor, so that we could put up a shelter, and then the volunteers helped us to design and build our A-frame shelter, and helped us to build the compost toilet. That we're managing the volunteering so that people have a sense of success. That's my aim with the way that we run volunteer tasks here.
I think a forest like this has the capacity to absorb a huge number of different interests, and if it's done carefully, for it to produce a sustainable harvest in the conventional sense that we mean harvest, while producing another harvest in social terms that we've not been in a position to touch for many years.